The following program is a production of the Fairfax Network, Fairfax County Public Schools.
If he's so great,
why is his language so hard to understand? Why should I read his plays and poetry?
Is he even writing in English? Because it doesn't sound like it.
How is Shakespeare relevant to my life?
why isn't there more drama and action?
What's the best way to approach Shakespeare? Why is
Shakespeare
So great.
To learn Shakespeare, you really have to get up on your feet and do Shakespeare. Can you do that?
Yeah!
To do Shakespeare, you really have to stand and deliver.
To be or not to be.
Well, now that's a great start. Today, join us as we learn how professional actors look for text clues to perform Shakespeare. We'll discover sound clues, investigate clues through body language, reveal clues through action, and identify clues through paraphrasing. We'll begin in a moment, but first, a nod to our inspiration, the Folger Shakespeare Library.
Henry Clay Folger and his wife Emily Jordan Folger collected all things Shakespeare. Today, their collection is housed at the Folger Shakespeare Library in Washington, D.C. Since 1932, the collection has grown to include rare books, manuscripts, and art. Plays, concerts, family activities, and educational outreach are part of the Folger Shakespeare Library experience, including performance workshops for children. In fact, the Folger's educational acting troupe, known as Bill's Buddies, is dedicated to getting kids up and performing Shakespeare. Today, we're standing up for Shakespeare and experiencing his words and emotions as actors, engaged readers, and Bill's best buds. Don't go away. A master class for teachers and students begins now on Meet the Author, Discover Shakespeare.
With me in the studio to facilitate our master class on text clues are Cam McGee and Marcus Kidd, members of Bill's Buddies. Also in the studio are students from Greenbrier East Elementary. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
I am glad to have you joining me today. Cam, I'm going to start with you. What should students know about text clues? What does text clues mean?
Well, what do you think a text clue means?
Texting.
Texting, no. But in a book, yes. Because when you study Shakespeare, you open a book, but what you're really looking at is a play script. And plays were not meant just to be read. Plays were meant to be seen and heard. And Shakespeare leaves clues in the script for the actors to tell them what to do. And that's what a text clue is.
Marcus, I'm going to talk to you now.
Yeah.
How should a student or a teacher start with the text clue of sound?
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to overwhelm people and worry about the whole play. What we usually do is start with fragments of the plays and just build your confidence a little bit so that you learn that you can do it yourself. And we like to start with the smallest fragment, which is the omnipresent Shakespearean O.
But before we go there, we are going to recap the story of A Midsummer Night's Dream, because that's the passage we've chosen. So I need my Helena, my Demetrius, my Hermia, and my Lysander. All right.
Here's Midsummer Night's Dream in a minute.
Okay. In the beginning of the play, Helena is in love with Demetrius. Demetrius is in love with Hermia. Hermia is in love with Lysander. Lysander's in love with Hermia. But by Act 3, Scene 2, because of a mistake with the love potion, Lysander and Demetrius are both in love with Helena. And these four lovers are lost in the woods at night, and Hermia is very upset. Well done. Thank you.
Hey, good job, guys.
Good job. Good job. So, that O that Marcus was referring to. O. Shakespeare uses the word O to express pure emotion. Our vowels carry our emotions. Our consonants give our words meaning. So let me show you. I want you to say the word O as if you have just seen a cutest puppy alive. 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
It was cuter. 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Now, I want you to say the word O as if someone's told you you're just going to have a pop quiz.
Oh.
Right. Now, what emotion was that? Disdain. Disdain, upset, anger, frustration. It's not fair. So, I want you to say the word puppy like you just saw a cute puppy.
Puppy.
And I want you to say the word pop quiz like you were just told you were going to have a pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
So, with your consonants, you communicated an image, but with your vowels, you communicated what you felt about that image. Now, Marcus is going to give you 3 lines from A Midsummer Night's Dream, and we need 3 volunteers, our sound volunteers.
Great.
And he's
Lovely.
going to take you through the rest of it.
All right, so we'll take 3 lines that have an O and some words in it, okay? So why don't you take the first one, and your line is, "Oh me, you juggler, you canker blossom." Yep.
Oh me, you juggler, you canker blossom.
Okay, great. So that's fine for just knowing what it means, but now say it as if somebody in the recess lot just slapped you in the face.
Oh me, you juggler, you canker blossom.
A little bit meaner.
Oh me, you juggler, you canker blossom.
Very good, very good, very good. Now, let's try the reverse. Say it like you're playfully making fun of one of your friends.
Oh me, you juggler, you canker blossom.
Yeah, so you made a slight adjustment there, which is great. Okay, your line shall be,
Oh, it is all forgot.
oh, is it all forgot? Yes? I think yes, so it's like a question, right? Oh, is it all forgot? Okay, great. So let me hear it again.
Oh, is it all forgot?
Good, so that's like a nice sort of irony-free question, but why don't we give it a little sense of severe depression? Like let's say your pet bird just died, yes?
Oh, is it all forgot?
Oh, good, very good, very good. So you all hear him throw the emotion into the whole line, right? Good. Now you, oh, excellent.
Oh, excellent.
Great, and you have a lot of choices with this, so let's try it completely genuine, like you just won the Powerball.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, that is excellent. Now let's try it completely sarcastically, like somebody just cheated, and obviously cheated on a race that you were in, and they won.
Oh, excellent.
Perfect. Good job, you guys. Thank you so
Very
much.
well.
Thank you so much.
Very well. Oh, what great teaching tools for teachers on being able to express emotion and using the sound and the context. And oh, what great learning tools for you guys, right? For all ages. It's wonderful. It's never too late to study, read, and perform Shakespeare. Would you all agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Stay with us. Our master class on text clues continues with these questions from Cowpens, South Carolina.
Is it hard to understand how you would react in a situation where there are little to no stage directions?
How do you prepare for each performance?
Is it hard to interpret the emotions of the characters since we do not use Shakespearean language anymore?
Act 3, Scene 1, Mercutio says, "I am hurt, a plague of both houses, I am sped."
What this really means is, I am hurt. I curse both of your families. I am finished.
That was a great modern English version. Well, we're going to start with the last question first from those students in South Carolina, and they want to know, is it hard to interpret the emotions of characters when we don't speak Shakespearean English?
No, I don't think so. Well, let me ask the sound people. Was that hard to express emotion? On the line, oh, excellent, oh, is all forgot? No, Shakespeare makes it very easy because he works those vowels. He helps you.
And I would add that Shakespearean English is, I think, a barrier we put up to this language. But Shakespearean English is the English that we speak. The English that we speak started when Shakespeare was writing, when it was codified into his book. Yeah.
The students next wanted to know, how do you prepare for each performance? I'm sure everybody's a little different on how they get ready for these things, right?
Well, I have to warm up my voice, and I have to warm up my body, so I'm not stiff, and I have to go over my lines. I always go over my lines.
Very much the same for me. And a lot of the work that we end up doing in Shakespeare is both vocal and physical. And sometimes you have to fill a 50-seat house, and sometimes you have to fill a field that 3,000 people are sitting in. So definitely warming up the voice, and then stretching, or any number of physical things that you can do to get ready for the sword fights and the dancing and everything else that goes on in the play.
A lot of preparations, perhaps we wouldn't think of when we're on the receiving end, in the audience, watching all the great performances.
Well, we're supposed to make it look easy.
Yeah. But it can be very athletic. Yeah, absolutely.
The third question they wanted an answer for is, how is it hard to know how to react with no stage direction?
Oh, but there are stage directions, and they're in the text. He leaves clues for the actors for what their actions are. He tells the actor what to do, but we're going to get to that later with action clues.
And I would say it's much easier because you are free. You are completely free as an actor to do either what Shakespeare is asking of you, which will be obvious, or to have a free and genuine reaction. And that is wonderful as an actor.
And for those of you watching, our phone lines are open, so we welcome your calls. So please give us some calls and some questions for Cam and Marcus. Let's investigate how students find clues and meaning through body language now. Okay, so I'm going to leave it to you.
So I need 2 volunteers to hold this sign. Come up.
Come on up.
Come up like the young people you pretend to be. All right. So, can everybody see this? Yes. Right? Let's just read it all together. Is all the counsel that we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours we have spent, when we have chid the hasty-footed time for parting us, oh, is all forgot. Now, is there any word that jumps out at you, any words you've never seen before? Yes?
Chid.
Chid. Chid is a very vivid word. And we are going to get to that word as we act it out. So I need you all on your feet. It's a lot like charades, okay? This is going to be a lot like charades. If you needed to find a gesture for all, what would that gesture be? Somebody show me a gesture. Yes. So let's all do it. Is all, okay? And then if you needed a gesture for counsel, you have counselors. What do counselors do? Yes?
They help you and comfort you.
They help you and comfort you. So what would be a gesture for comforting you? Anybody? Here, let's just pat ourselves on the back. Okay, so there's the counsel. That, we need a gesture for we. We, well, that's I. So we. A gesture for two? Two. A gesture for shared. Shared. It's a lot like all. Let's do it that way. Shared. Okay. So what we've got now is all the counsel that we two have shared. Then you've got the sisters' vows. So vows. Vows. Like this? Like a boy or Girl Scout? Vows. And then for the sisters. How would we do sisters? Sisters? Well, you know what we could do? We'll do something fun. We'll do sisters. Okay? So the sisters' vows. The hours. Yes, the hours. Perfect. That we, how would you do spent? Yes, we're spending. When we have chid, the hasty-footed time. Chid is a word where the sound of the word actually helps you define it. So we're chiding something, and we're chiding the hasty-footed time for parting us, right? So what do you think if you were chiding something, what do you think that would be? You did it. Scolding. Scolding.
But a little meaner, right?
So when we have chid, we're scolding the hasty-footed. Do hasty-footed for me. Hasty-footed. Hasty-footed. Time for parting us. Then we've got that great O, right? O. We have all. And what's a good thing for forgot? How about that? Forgot. Okay, so let's do it all together as we say it, okay? Is all the counsel that we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours that we have spent when we have chid the hasty-footed time for parting us, oh, is all forgot. Well done. Thank you very much. Take your seats. All right.
Bravo.
Very well done.
Good job.
When you come to a passage that you're struggling with, what should you do? You stand up and act it out, right?
You can. You can stand up and act it out. Now, can anybody put that line in their own words? It's obviously two girlfriends because of sisters' vows, right? So Helena and Hermia are having a fight. Helena says this to Hermia. So what was their friendship like before? Was it a good friendship? Yes.
It was a really good friendship.
It was a very good friendship. And what's it like now?
They're enemies.
They're enemies. And that's all that line is Helena's reminding Hermia what good friends they were, and she seems to have forgotten that. So that body language is simply a tool to help you figure things out and to make it fun.
All right. Bravo, everybody. We're going to stop there for a moment because we have a phone call. I believe his name is Guy, and he's from Winchester. Hi, what is your question today?
I wanted to know, how do you do a convincing death scene?
A convincing death scene.
You fall down. How do you do a convincing death scene?
Death scenes are the best and easiest and most fun. But there's a lot of illusion that goes into how you die. If you're getting stabbed, there's a fight choreographer that works out the best angle for the audience. And then you just have to sell it. I mean, whatever the injury is, you have to play it as if the pain is, like I'm doing this as if I was stabbed over here. You have to sell wherever the pain is centered. Or if you're getting poisoned, you have to sell like what it is you're feeling in your body while the poison is seizing you up or making you shake or flail. And ultimately, you do have to actually die. So the actors that milk it actually will push themselves into unbelievability.
Can you show us?
Go ahead and stab me.
Okay. All right, here I come.
Yeah, here we go.
Don't mess the hair.
I'm convinced.
All right.
That was very nice. Very nice indeed.
Grunting helps.
Grunting
helps. Grunting helps, yeah.
Grunting helps.
Guy, thank you for a question from Winchester.
Sure.
Thanks for calling. We're going to step away from the body language for just a moment and share an email from a student from Alexandria, Virginia. This student wants to know, why is it important to study Shakespeare?
Oh.
It's a big question.
Well, it is the most fun you can have in English class. But our society, in our society, language is power. And nobody works the language better than William Shakespeare. And that's a very good reason to study him. Plus, he opens up this huge world of words to you. He makes up words. He writes very vivid phrases to spark your imagination. He is just so much fun to spend time with.
And as a human, I think there is not a single thing that you will experience in your life that he didn't explore in one of the plays, from the very smallest experience to the most tragic to the most funny. And it is a wonderful laboratory to learn what it is to be the most complete human you can be. I think that's why it's most
any
important.
emotion you will ever experience you can find in Shakespeare. And you'll know that you are not alone.
And it proves that it's timeless.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have another call. This is from Maeve. Hi, what is your question today? Maeve, do we still have you?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, how do you avoid the pitfalls of repeating characterizations that other actors have performed?
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, sometimes you do repeat. If you steal from another actor, always steal from the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that what you have to do is listen to your own reaction to the language, because the vivid words act on our imagination, and no one else has your imagination but you.
Mm-hmm. It's very hard to actually get away with stealing somebody else's work, because your own work is going to be more truthful. And that's what we're always after on stage, is telling the truth of the scene. It may look like choices other people made, but at some point, the scene will winnow itself down to about 5 or 6 available truthful choices. However, your sequence of those things will be different than somebody else's. What you are experiencing through that is going to be different than somebody else's. So I think it's actually a more stupid choice to try and steal what you think other people do, as opposed to do it yourself.
Right.
Because it's a very personal interpretation.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and because Shakespeare really demands an authentic reaction to his words.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have a few more questions sent to us on tape from Cowpens Middle School. Let's find out what other students are curious about when it comes to performing Shakespeare. Don't go away.
How often do you have to practice your lines for a play?
What inspired you to become a performer for Shakespeare's plays? Did something about them intrigue you, leading you to the decision to become a performer?
Did you have to be an experienced actor to participate in a Shakespearean play? In Act 2, Scene 2, Juliet says, "O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father, and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet."
What Juliet was really asking Romeo is, why are you a Montague? The Montagues are enemies of the Capulets, and Juliet tells him to not accept his name, but if he must, she will deny her name.
All right, we're going to go to those questions in just a minute. Another great set of questions, but first, Raul from Pennsylvania has a question for you on the phone. Hi, Raul. Did we lose him?
Hello?
Raul, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Hi, what is your question today?
Hi, my question is, how do you prepare to memorize a long monologue or soliloquy?
I've often wondered that, too.
Well, you giving it to me?
You just had to prepare a long monologue and soliloquy, didn't you?
Well,
so,
yes, I did. So first I look at the text. I make sure of what I'm saying. I ask questions about it. Like, why did Shakespeare choose to phrase this way? And then the hardest thing I have to do, once I've learned it all, and actors learn a part. You have all kinds of memory. You have memory in rote memory, where you just memorize. You've got mouth memory. You've got body memory. Once I've learned that part, I have to forget how long the speech is, because my character doesn't know they're going to speak that long. There's some reason that my character keeps speaking, so I have to find that out. And so that's part of my preparation. But it's really repetition. It's a lot of repetition.
Yeah, just like learning a song or a piece of music, you have to do it over and over and over and over again, and ask yourself all these questions while you're doing that. Is, why do I say what I say? What is it that I want? Have I gotten what I want? You know, nobody, like Cam says, nobody thinks they're going to start a speech unless you're invited to come up and give a speech, right? So everything you say, every sentence could be the last one, and I think that's the best way to go about it. Is the only reason you go on is because what you wanted to happen didn't happen, and you have to keep going.
That's an interesting perspective. Let's go back to the questions that the students from Calpin Middle School shared with us just a few moments ago. And their first question, because I have them in front of me and I know it's hard to remember all these, the first one was, how often do you have to practice your lines for a play?
Well, as I have gotten older, I have to remember my lines every day.
And generally, we get 3 to 4 weeks to rehearse a play, and it is a full-time job. You know, we work from 6 to 8 hours a day on that, and then we go home and study the lines at night. So it actually gets to be a lot of extra work, and that is just enough time to own it. There have been impossible situations I've witnessed where somebody has about a week to prepare. And I think with a combination of adrenaline and the stakes of getting the show right, I think that has worked. But generally, 3 to 4 weeks of repetition is enough to learn the lines.
Yes, and then I have to remind myself before my performance what my lines were.
Wow. So their day is very similar to the students. You have your classwork, a full day of that, and then you go home and you have a full set of homework.
We have homework.
Yeah,
we do. We have homework we have to do.
The next question for both of you is, what inspired you to become a performer?
I wanted to do something exciting, and I was lucky. I saw Shakespeare before I had him in class, and I had never seen human beings move or speak or just be like this in beautiful costumes and makeup. And I thought, yeah, that's the life for me. And somehow my dad showed me there was a stage door, so I knew that you could get into it, not like film. There are no stage doors in film. So that's what inspired me, the excitement.
I think my way in, I'm more of a misplaced scientist. Like, I'm really into exploration and discovering and very curious about the world. And never did very well at any of the sciences and envied everybody who could, because I think science is great and awesome. But where my exploration and my curiosity led me was into the human experience, and the theater was the best place for me to examine that. And I learn more about the world every month from the work I have to do in the theater and the research that I have to do for the theater. So it really brings the whole world to me, rather selfishly. It's wonderful.
It does.
Yeah.
It does bring the world to you, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
I would think it would be a fresh experience every day with every different production, and depending on who you're working with, and there's so many variables, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The third question the students asked you is, do you have to be a professional actor to participate in a Shakespeare play?
No, you do not. Professional, a lot of people don't know this, and they won't tell you this very early, so I'm going to dispel this right now. Professional only means that you're getting paid.
Yeah.
That is it. That is the definition of being a professional. So there are many opportunities for somebody to act in a Shakespeare play that aren't necessarily professional. If you are a professional actor, you open yourself up to many more. But you could get involved in something tomorrow if you wanted to. Right?
And when you're studying a Shakespeare play, it's not really about acting so much as doing, as getting up on your feet and doing, and saying those words out loud, because those words were written to be heard.
That's how we all learn best, is by doing, getting up and doing it and touching it and experiencing it. We're going to switch gears now. Cam and Marcus, help us with action clues.
Oh, action
What does
clues.
it mean when we say action clues?
All right, Shakespeare leaves clues in the language to tell an actor what to do. And this is what an actor looks for in his script. But it's easier to show you than to tell you. So we need our...
We're going to do 3 examples of this, right? Okay, so we need from the Midsummer Night's Dream, we need a
Lysander?
Demetrius and a Lysander, yeah?
Okay,
so
where's our Lysander and our Demetrius? For your lines...
All right.
And
you are Lysander, right?
Do you have
Great.
your lines?
Lovely.
You've learned your lines.
Great. Oh, yes. Well, good.
Okay.
Good on you.
Excuse me.
So let's do a quick run through. Yes? Let's hear it. Go.
I say I love thee more than he can ever do.
If you say so, withdraw and prove it too.
Quick, come.
Great. Lovely. That was wonderful, guys. Now, what is happening? What is Shakespeare asking you to do? Let's do the lines again, and when you guys hear something that indicates action, stop them. Okay? Ready? Go.
I say I love thee more than he can ever do.
If you say...
Stop. What did you hear?
He enunciated on he. showing that he was kind of proving that he is better than Lysander.
Oh, good. So you hear a demonstrative action in that, which is great. So maybe you want to make a bigger deal out of he, because it's obvious from what they're hearing that you're talking to someone else, right? You are talking to Helena, I believe, right at this moment. Yeah. So pick a Helena. Maybe it's Cam, right?
I'll
and
be Helena. Tell
her and be demonstrative about him, right? Okay, go ahead.
I say I love thee more than he can ever do.
If you say so, withdraw and prove it too.
Quick, come.
Stop. Yes. Okay. What did you hear?
I heard when he said to withdraw.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he said withdraw, it was like he was like challenging him.
It was a challenge, wasn't it? Right? We've all seen this, right? Right? A couple of boys getting in each other's faces, right? So lay in that challenge in there, right? So give us the line again. I love thee more than he can do.
I say I love thee more than he can ever do.
If you say so, withdraw and prove.
Now muscle up a little bit, right? Hey, right? Go ahead and throw the gauntlet down, right? Go ahead.
I say I love thee more than he can ever do.
If you say so, withdraw and prove it too.
Quick, come.
And then what? What do we think quick come means? Yes?
He's like challenging him and saying I accept your
challenge. Let's go, right? Let's go out back and fight, right? And then really off they go, right? Okay, good. Wonderful work, you guys. Wonderful work. Let me get these plaques here. Now I think we need
a Hermia,
and a Lysander. Yes? Ah, good. Yes, gender-free casting. Here we go. Are you Lysander? Okay, great.
Excellent.
There you go.
There you go.
Great. So let's just hear the lines straight.
Lysander, where to tends all this?
Hang off, thou cat, thou bird, vile thing. Let loose, or I will shake thee from me like a serpent.
Okay, so this is going to get exciting. So you guys remember, stop them when you hear an action clue, right? Okay, we don't know when they're coming. Listen up, turn up those ears, and go.
Lysander, where to tends all this?
Stop. What? Oh, yes.
Confusion.
Confusion. Okay, great. So your directors are asking you to throw a little bit more confusion in, right? It is weird. He went from loving you to not loving you, right? So where to tends all this? Let's just make it a little bit more important. Okay, ready? And go again.
Lysander, where to tends all this?
Hang off, thou cat, thou bird, vile thing. Let loose.
Yes, stop. What did you hear?
I heard that she's not, like, she's really, Lysander's getting really mad at her.
You hear that? Yes. But beyond the emotion, is there any literal action that you're hearing? This is actually a great line for it. Say the line again.
Hang off, thou cat, thou bird, vile thing.
Hang off, thou cat, thou burr. What's a burr? What is a burr? You ever run through sticker bushes? What's a burr?
It's like sort of seed that sort of sticks to you.
Yeah, it's like a prickly seed, right, that's sticking to you, right? So what do you think Hermia is doing to Lysander right now?
Oh, annoying.
Trying to, like, hug Lysander, I guess.
Right. Or somehow she's attached herself to him, right? Like a burr. So he says, hang off, right? So we're going to need you to grab Lysander in that first line. This is great. Now we have to go back to the beginning and just I don't know, maybe grab her arm and say, Lysander. All right, let's start this. Yeah, go ahead.
Lysander, where to tends all this?
Hang off, thou cat, thou bird, vile thing. Let loose, or I will shake thee from me like a serpent.
Yes.
Well, it seemed kind of like shooing her away in a way.
Yes, from where? Where did you hear that?
Like the hang off.
Hang off, thou cat, thou bird. Vile thing, let loose. Has she let go of him yet? No, she has not. So you got out of there really quick. You really solved your problem fast. If it was a play, we might have her jump on his back, cover his eyes, make it a little bit crazy. But I won't ask you guys to do that right now. But just hang on to that arm for dear life, okay? Until let loose, or I will. What is it? I will shake thee from me like a serpent. I will shake thee from me like a serpent, and then we can save the escape for shake thee from me like a serpent, right? Okay. Let's hear the whole thing.
All right.
Lysander, where to tends all this?
Hang off, thou cat, thou bird, vile thing. Let loose, or I will shake thee from me like a serpent.
Oh, okay, great. Wonderful work, you guys. Wonderful work.
Really nice.
Yes, absolutely. Let me get those plaques from you. Yes. Oh, and if we had time to stage it, it would be an elaborate fight.
Yes, it would. Helena,
okay, we need
Hermia, and Lysander.
Helena, Hermia, and Lysander. I can help out here. Who is Helena? Yes, you will be Helena.
Who is
Lovely.
Hermia? You are Lysander,
Oh,
yes?
got your hair.
Okay. There we go.
Great. So you know the drill, right? We're gonna micro stage this thing. So let's just hear the line straight, okay?
How low am I? I am not yet so low, but that my nails can reach unto thine eyes.
I pray you're through. You mock me. Gentlemen, let her not strike me.
Be not afraid. She shall not harm thee, Helena.
Let me come to her.
Great. Okay, good. So this is going to have a lot of options for us, right? Okay, and I think we normally, because I know the Shakespeare names can be a little confusing, we normally say Helena when we're doing it, and it looks like there's like 3 or 4 different solutions for that, but traditionally we've always said Helena. Okay, so let's start again, and you guys stop them when you hear an action.
How low am I? I am not yet so low, but that my nails can reach.
Stop. Yes.
She sounds angry, like
Okay.
she wants to hurt him.
Like she wants to hurt her, right? Yes. Let's hear the whole line again. Yeah. I am not yet so low, but that.
How low am I? I am not yet so low, but that my nails can reach unto thine eyes.
Yeah.
It sounds like she feels kind of angry and rejected.
Take it literally. I'm not yet so low, but that my nails can reach into thine eyes. What does that
Kind
mean?
of threatening her.
Threatening her with what?
Her fingers. She's threatening to claw out her eyes.
Yes, right? So we're going to need you. We might need you to back up a little bit. We're going to need like a jab right at the eyes there, right? Good work. Good work. So let's try that.
How low am I? I am not yet so low, but that my nails can reach unto thine eyes.
Good.
I pray you're through. You mock me. Gentlemen, let her not strike me.
Good. So she just said, "Gentlemen, let her not strike me." What does that mean? Yes.
That means Lysander, help me, don't let her scratch.
Yes. So perhaps Lysander is in a position where he is stopping her stopping Hermia from hurting Helena, right? Yes. This scene is wonderful to stage. It gets to be maddening like this. So we might need you, Lysander, to get in between them, right? So and back up a little bit. So when the hand comes out, maybe you snatch it, right? Okay, great. Here we go. Ready? From the top.
How low am I? I am not yet so low, but that my nails can reach unto thine eyes.
I pray you're through. You mock me. Gentlemen, let her not strike me.
Be not afraid. She shall not harm thee, Helena.
Let me come to her.
Okay, well, stop. Yes, I heard a couple of stops. What was that? Yes? Yeah? Okay.
Lysander is telling Helena that don't worry, that I'll protect you.
I'll protect you, right? What kind of movement goes with I'll protect you? What are you saying, Lysander? Yes? Good. Yes. So show off a little bit, right? Just hey, I will protect you. You know it, right? Good. Let's hear just from I pray you, Helena. Your line, right? After the fingers come out, right? Let's say we've gone that far.
I pray you're through. You mock me. Gentlemen, let her not strike me.
Be not afraid. She shall not harm thee, Helena.
Good. Keep going. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Let me come to her.
Oh, stop.
Oh, yes.
She sounds kind of like angry, like, why can't I just hurt her already?
Yes, why can't I? So what does that imply? What do you think is literally happening when she says, let me come to her?
She's begging her.
She's begging her why?
Because Lysander has pretty much restrained Hermia, and Hermia wants her to let go.
More information. Shakespeare is directing this from the beyond, isn't he, right? Yeah. So now, Lysander, you not only grab her hand, but at some point you must be restraining her, right, from grabbing Helena, right? Which means the fight is getting pretty serious, okay? So can we try that from the top?
How low am I? I am not yet so low, but that my nails can reach unto thine eyes.
I pray you're through. You mock me. Gentlemen, let her not strike me.
Be not afraid. She shall not harm thee, Helena.
Let me come to her.
Stop.
Yeah.
She's trying to tell Lysander that I want to kill her, please.
Absolutely, yes. And if we were to go on with the scene, there would be all kinds of great sort of swinging and cartoon, not hitting somebody that you're swinging at. It's wonderful. Great work, you guys. Thank you so much for making it so clear.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So while you're collecting their names, Cam, Marcus, what should students remember about action clues?
Oh, well, you may not know what every word means when you look at this play, but it's pretty easy to pick out the action. So if you follow the action, it'll be much easier to figure out what those words that you don't quite understand are, what they mean.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and if you think of it as a play, as something that you have to act out, I think it's more fun to go through these as an actor. You probably, I know all of you probably sit in your room with the mirror and, you know, rock out a little bit or pretend to sing your favorite song or something. You can do that with these plays. And if you're struggling through a bit, I always find that getting up and walking through it and talking it often helps me understand what the next thing has to be.
Oh gosh, I've learned a lot already. How about you? We have a caller. This is Reed from Winchester, Virginia. Hi, Reed. What is your question?
Hi. We're actually currently studying Othello, and we'd like to know how to perform the line, excellent wretch, if you guys would know that line.
Excellent wretch. What's the context? What's happened?
Currently, Othello is talking about Desdemona and calling her an excellent wretch.
Mm-hmm. Listen to the sounds of the words. Say it and over-enunciate it for us.
Excellent wretch.
Right. Hit that T a little harder, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Excellent wretch.
What do you feel your face doing?
It's spreading out more.
Spreading out more, and you're having to bite down on all those consonants, right?
Yes.
It's not a nice thing he's calling her, and the language being used even makes you make that face. Excellent wretch, right? So fill it with that loathing. I think that's what you have to do there.
All right.
All right.
Great.
Thanks for calling,
Wish I could
Reed.
see it.
Thank you.
In the meantime, we're trying to do that in the audience. Our phone lines are open, so join us. Meanwhile, as we approach our final text clue, the art of paraphrasing, let's meet a few more of Bill's buddies at the Folger Shakespeare Library.
When Hermia finally finds Lysander in the night time, she says to him,
Dark night that from the eye his function takes, the ear more quick of apprehension makes, wherein it doth impair the seeing sense, it pays the hearing double recompense.
Okay, so let's break it down.
Dark night that from the eye his function takes.
Okay, so when it's dark at night, the night takes the function of the eye. What is the function of the eye? To see. So when it's dark out, we can't see.
Dark night that from the eye his function takes, the ear more quick of apprehension makes.
Okay, the ear. You may not be able to see, but you can still hear.
Dark night that from the eye his function takes, the ear more quick of apprehension makes, wherein it doth impair the seeing sense, it pays the hearing double recompense.
Oh, wait, I got this. Dawn, can you do that last two lines again?
Wherein it doth...
Oh, wherein it, meaning the darkness,
doth impair the seeing sense.
Makes seeing impossible.
It,
the darkness,
pays the hearing double recompense.
Makes you able to hear extra well.
Hi, we have another phone call. This is from Michelle from Connecticut. Hi, Michelle. What is your question?
Hi. Which Shakespeare play do you think is the hardest to act?
The hardest Shakespeare play to act.
Hardest Shakespeare play to act.
That's a hard question.
Timon of Athens.
Which is also one most people haven't heard of.
That's why. It's a very hard story.
Difficult for me to talk about a whole play. I will say that I think Brutus from Julius Caesar is one of the toughest roles out there because the change he goes through is very big. And if you're doing your job, he's almost somebody who is not very emotive until, you know, the climax of the play. So it's a real slow, steady thing. I think Brutus would be very challenging to do.
Could I ask the caller what she thinks is the hardest Shakespeare?
She's gone. Sorry.
Okay.
That'd be
well,
a good
I will never
know.
Yeah. We'll never know.
Well, it's a real treat to have members of Bill's Buddies on the set with us. Cam McGee and Marcus Kidd, it's so great to have you here.
Thank you.
It's also great to see your educational outreach troupe on stage. So we've seen examples of paraphrasing throughout the show and at our time together. Why is paraphrasing important as a text clue?
Well, the reason that we've been paraphrasing all through this is so that you would know what you're saying. It's meaning. Everything is rooted in meaning. So once you know what something means, then you can start to ask questions about why Shakespeare phrased it this way. So let me show you. This is a line, Midsummer Night's Dream. It's about Helena. I just want you to repeat the line after me, okay? Fair Helena, more engilds the night, than all young fiery O's and I's of light. Than all yon fiery O's and I's of light. So, fair Helena more engilds the night than all yon fiery O's and I's of light. So, we know what fair means. We know that beautiful Helena engilds. Gild is the root word of engilds. So, to gild something. What would it be to gild something? Yes?
Kind of guide it in a way.
Well, gild. Gild is to make something bright, something beautiful. Your shirt has been gilded. Your jacket, which sparkles, has been gilded. So she makes what? The night bright, right? Fair Helena makes the night bright more than, what would be the fiery O's and I's of light? Yes.
The sun.
The sun, but it's night. So if...
Candles.
Candles.
The moonlight.
The moonlight.
The stars.
The stars. The fiery O's and I's of light are stars. But he has the word stars. He could have used the word stars. So what he's basically saying is, fair Helena is brighter than the stars. But why the fiery O's and I's of light? Why do you think? Yes?
It gives it more drama, more feeling.
It gives it more feeling, and it's full of vowels, so it's full of emotion. But I bet you have made those same O's and I's every time you see a firework display. I want you to say the word O as if you were seeing a firework going up. Now, I want you to say I as if that firework is dying. So, fair Helena more engilds the night than all young fiery and of light. What that vivid image says to me is that Helena is so bright that the stars are watching her like fireworks. The wonderful thing about vivid words, chid was a vivid word, canker blossom is a vivid word, is that our brains are wired to image those words. Those words act on our imagination, and your imagination is one of the best tools that you can bring to studying Shakespeare.
We have learned a lot today. Now I'm going to ask you, could you recap all of these clues that you've shared with us today and that we've spent all this time practicing?
Sure can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
we started with sound clues.
Right, with the O, how you put all the emotion into that O and then you carried it through the line. In fact, you don't even need that O to carry emotion through the line. Shakespeare uses vowels to help you. Shakespeare was also an actor, and I think that he always writes with the actor in mind. He always tries to make our job easier. So he comes up with the right vowels for the right emotion. So we did that. And then we did body language, which was your basic charade, the sisters' vows. And then we did the action clues.
The action clues. And you start to really join the body language and the sound clues into the action clues, right? So that you know what you're doing as an actor, but you also know, you start asking yourself what you want and what you feel about it, right?
And the last was paraphrasing, just putting the language into your own words so that you know what you're saying. Once you know what you're saying, you can start to ask questions. And once you start to ask questions, you can find your own answers. And that's kind of learning.
And if you know what you're saying as an actor, the audience will never misunderstand you. I think that's something. When you're watching a play and you don't understand what the actors are saying in a Shakespeare play, they are not doing their job. They should be making it as clear as possible for you. And that's how you know.
Everybody got that? Okay.
Awesome.
We have another phone call. This is from Ellie from Connecticut. Hi, Ellie. What is your question?
Hi. In As You Like It, when Orlando first meets Rosalind as a boy in the Forest of Arden, how can he really express his feelings of surprise and joy and sadness without overdoing it?
What do you say there?
Well, what do you think? Let me ask you, what do you think? Why did you ask me that question?
Well, our class is performing this play, and I am playing the role of Orlando.
Right.
And I was wondering how can I really express the feelings of this scene, but without making it too big or not enough?
I would say this. I would offer this. Go too far. Dare to go too far.
Right.
Your director will pull you back if it seems fake. There is a very good chance that the truthful reaction in the scene is actually much bigger than you think you're even capable of going to. It is very rare that a director will actually say, ooh, that's too much. They usually want more and more and more from us. And especially in the moment you're describing in the Shakespeare play, big feeling is very good. So I would say go too far, trust your director, and the most important thing for you as an actor is to liken it to something that you've experienced. So ask yourself, what is this like for me? So that you have a touchstone in the scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks for calling. We're going to move on to some email questions from some students at T.C. Williams High School, the Minnie Howard campus. One that they would like an answer to is, why are most of Shakespeare plays tragic?
Well, he wrote 10 tragedies. He wrote 10 histories. So I'm not counting the histories as tragedy.
Yeah, and they said if you don't count histories. And
he wrote 16 comedies, and then he wrote Troilus and Cressida, which is kind of everything. So I would say that he wrote the tragedies because that's what his audience wanted to see. That's what they were paying money to see at the time. Not because, well, why do you go to see, like, Iron Man? And then you go see Iron Man 2, and you'll probably go see Iron Man 3. It's what they make that film because that's what the audience pays their money to see. So I think when he wrote a tragedy, or when he wrote histories, or when he wrote comedies, that was the mood of his public at the time.
And I'd like to offer that the difference between a tragedy and a comedy is not very big. There's actually a fine line that they straddle. The very big difference is that the stakes are just as high. Everybody needs to learn something. Every situation is just as dangerous. In a comedy, everybody learns the lesson that they need to learn to fix the situation in time to live.
They get a second chance.
Right.
Everybody gets a second chance.
And in
comedy.
tragedy, they learn it right before they die.
and that's when the convincing death comes in handy.
And that's when a convincing death does come in handy, yes,
that
thank you.
That does come in handy. We have another phone call. This is from Emma from Winchester. Hi, Emma.
Hi. My question is, what is the difference between training to be a Shakespearean actor and a contemporary actor?
There's not that much difference between being a contemporary and a Shakespearean actor.
I will say that your classical training will push you a little further vocally and physically. I found in my own training that the contemporary plays don't often ask you to push yourself as far physically and vocally.
That's true.
And there's a lot of tools, there's a lot of verbal and textual clues that you need to help you unlock Shakespeare's text as an actor that you won't receive if you are just studying contemporary theater. So if you can find a way into a specialized training course to push yourself further with Shakespeare, The good news is you probably won't need to worry about contemporary theater. Like if you can do Shakespeare, you can do anything.
You can do anything.
Absolutely.
Okay. I understand we have another phone call. Are they ready? Maddie? Hi,
Yes.
Maddie. What is your question?
Hello. When performing, what do you do to not freak out or mess up when you're performing on stage?
Cam?
Oh,
that's a good one.
Well, I concentrate on what I'm doing. And I try not to think about myself. And I was nervous today, but I was concentrating on you. So that helped me get through and helped me from messing up too much.
Don't give yourself the option of messing up. You have to practice it enough that it won't happen. Or that you know it so well that if a mistake happens, you can work around it. Yeah? I hope.
Yes.
Yes. Another of the email questions, if you could briefly explain, in your opinion, why is Shakespeare relevant to our world today?
Oh, I think it's language. I mean, Shakespeare is his language. He's the first playwright to say there are only so many plots, but there's this infinite variety of conversation between characters. Almost every conversation in the world is found in Shakespeare. But it's really how he works the language, and language is power in our world. And he makes up words, but we make up words. I never Googled when I was your age. We didn't have Google. So we didn't have the word, but now we do.
And I think the question, not to knock the person who's asking the question, but I think the question has an unfair assumption in it that you start with the premise that Shakespeare is not relevant somehow. And I think more than anything, the further back in time we go to look at how humans perceive the world, the more relevant it becomes for us. Because you can strip away the internet, you can strip away telephones, you can take away cars, you can start taking away horses and carriages. You go back and back and back and back and back to the point where people just had themselves and their communities, and that will always be the same.
Right, and well, fathers will always try to tell their daughters what to do, and brothers and sisters will always fight, and
people in love will always try to run away from their parents. Maybe.
And then there'll be a love potion.
That love potion, yeah.
And the fairies will always come get you and steal you. No.
Well, Cam and Marcus, what's your best advice to teachers when it comes to performing Shakespeare?
To teachers?
To teachers.
Well, an active learning is always the best. You can learn from a book or you can learn from experience, but active learning really engages your students. It puts them on the line. They have to voice those words. They have to physicalize it. They start to ask questions. They posit those answers themselves. It engages them, and it engages you. And I think, what I really think about teachers is that the people who know best about teaching are the people who actually do it every day with real kids in a classroom. And so hopefully, from what we've done, you could take some of these tools and use it with your kids in the classroom.
Do you have anything you want to add?
I would say just get these students up on their feet, and as much as possible, think of the play as a script. If you want to give them an analogy, think of it as a music score that's helping you through it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Cam. Marcus, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Students, thank you so much for joining us, and thank all of the students and teachers that are watching today. For students and teachers, a reminder that the Folger Shakespeare Library has an impressive digital resource for lesson plans for the K through 12 community, as well as background material and performance tips. Visit www.folger.edu. And for the Fairfax Network, I'm Della Kidd. Keep reading, keep writing, and keep dreaming. And for more Shakespeare, the play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. Hamlet. Give your...
Yay!